Adam here with Brooksaw Antiques. Today we have this 1965 Smith-Corona Galaxie II vintage portable typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. This one has an international Spanish keyboard, has accent marks like the N, upside down, question mark, and other accent marks and symbols, and it also has the $ plus the euro sign. Up top is the adjustable paper guide. This helps you guide the page in straight. I'm going to line that up with the edge of the platen, which is the main roller that feeds the paper. This is the left margin. I'm going to set this around 0 to 1. And the right one I'm going to keep there at 75, and this is the paper support arm that flips up from the back. And this is the paper bale that sits on top. It's got 2 adjustable rollers. And this accent mark that has when you shift it, it's got the 2 dots, and then when you don't shift it, it's just like a upside down apostrophe. I don't know the names of these accent marks, but it doesn't advance the carriage. So when you hit it, and then you hit the character that you want to use underneath it. So I'll use A, for example. So now that's how that looks. So you have the accent mark, and then you type the character you want. That's how you use that specific one. And I think that's the only one on this keyboard. Some keyboards will have 2 of those that don't advance the carriage, but this one just has that one. Once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin. Hit this line space, gets you back to the beginning. It skips 1, 2, or 3. Right now we have it on single, but if you want double, you just flip that switch back. It skips 2. One more, it skips 3. We're going to keep that on single for now and finish typing. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence in red on the next line and switch from black to red. There's a switch on the right side here. Flip that down to the red indicator. It prints the bottom portion of the ribbon. When you have it in the middle, it doesn't print any ink at all. It just leaves a stencil for copying purposes. When you have it up top, it prints the top portion of the ribbon, which is black. We're going to move that down for red. Beautiful. One of the best typing machines I've typed on in a long time as far as Smith-Corona goes. It's this ribbon got a little bit out of whack. Let's change that color back to black, and it should fix the ribbon. There we go. Sometimes with these models, when you use red ink, it'll get a little slide up a little bit. I just have to tighten that a little bit once I get done here. And the print looks really good. The typewriter itself is just absolutely reliable. It's one of the funnest typewriters to type on. Print looks perfect. It's a really well-designed typewriter. Smith-Corona made some really nice typewriters during this era. This is their golden age era. And you can draw a line too with this. This is there's a little hole in there. This is the paper shield. And if you put a pen in there and put the carriage where you want it, right there, I don't know. And you can draw a line if you have a pen. So I'm just going to hold the carriage release and put the pin in that hole, and then hold the carriage release like this, and it draws a straight, nice, clean, straight line. Really cool. A lot of typewriters actually have that function. If you have a paper shield like that with a hole in it, then that's what that's for. To pull the page out easy, there's a switch on the right side here. You flip it forward and it unlocks the rollers underneath the platen, allowing you to pull the page out easier or load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page, or else it won't load correctly. Got a shift on each side and shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again. Backspace on the left side, very good. Touch control to the left of that. Low, medium, and high. The higher you go, the more tension there is when you hit the keys. You do have to hit them harder for them to print, but they respond faster. So you just want to play with that to gauge which touch control preference is. Tab on the right. Right now we have tabs set at 10 space intervals, so I'm just going to go through and clear each one of those. Let me zoom out here a little bit. By hitting the seal button right next to it, so you go to the tab and you just hit that seal button and it clears all of those tabs one at a time. So now we don't have any tabs set, so when you hit the tab button, pretty good break, but I always like to set one somewhere in the middle by hitting the set button underneath the clear button, and that will set that tab there. You can set as many tabs as you want on this model. I'll test that out. Very good. Backspace, we already did that. MR stands for margin release. When you get to the end of the margin, there's a mechanism that blocks you from printing. Hit that MR button. It does allow you to go all the way to the end. Very good. Slide the hood to the front like that. All the brand new ribbons on the left side, so it's pulling clockwise to the right. If you want to switch that direction, there's a little switch behind the left spool here. You flip it down to pull to the left, you flip it up to pull to the right, and this will automatically reverse on its own. Once it gets to the end of the ribbon, there's a little eyelet on most ribbons that will pull this little guide that it has on either side, whatever side's empty, and it pulls it. Once you pull that, as you're typing, it'll swap back to that side, to the side that needs to be swapped. If you don't have eyelets at the end, you can tie a knot on the end, and it will do that for you. Usually, carriage release on both sides, and this is one of the flaws of this machine, that these are getting old and these actually break off very easily. So if you need replacements, check out my shop. I do 3D print those, and really good replicas. I got one on the other side I'll show you in a minute, but I want to show you first how to remove the platen. So you just flip this panel up like that, and then there's a little lever on the top side here. Flip that up and you can pull the platen right out. There's a little lever on that side, I'll show you that too, but if you pull that out, it's easier to get the platen out, so you can get in there and clean it out or do maintenance. And you can also, if you need a new platen, then you just remove the knob here with that screw, and then you send this in to whoever's going to do that. I don't do that personally, but maybe one day in the future. And that just snaps all back down like that. Very easy. Most platens are very hard to remove. So this is the 3D printed one. So you can't even really tell that it's 3D printed. It just looks really good. It's got the right color and everything to it. This is the lever that I pulled out to remove the platen. If you push it in, you get the clicks. So that's just how you get your lines right. And if you pull it out, it disables the spacing, so you can get to an exact spot on the page, but then you lose your line that you're on, so you want to be careful with that. And the same concept with this lever on the inside here that just disables the spacing when you turn the knob. Flip it up, you get the clicks. And the page gauge on the inside that just gauges when you get close to the end of the bottom of the page, you load it right there where it is below the 11, and as you're feeding it through, it'll start to warn you in the red 2 inches left of the bottom of the page before you get to the end, and that's 1 inch. And that's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.